We are here in the south, and I think it's rather concerning given the fact that we have been told that residents here have not had water for 18 days and counting. Let's just get some perspective from the councillors, and then we'll have a chat with residents. Maybe just tell us how serious the crisis actually is. Maybe just introduce yourself and just say which area you look after here in the south. What is the actual problem here?
Thank you, Heidi. My name is Councillor Fisa Chame, and I'm the Ward Councillor for Ward 57. Ward 57 consists of South Hills, Regents Park, Roulette, Risana, Dulisa Park, etc. This is now day 18 today where the residents do not have water, and this issue is quite dire because our schools are not operating, our clinics had to close. We've got about 7 old age homes which is in this ward. The people do not have water, our toilets are filling up, so the problem is really quite huge. We have been engaging with Joburg Water, and Joburg Water always tell us that they are trying their best. Then they said that the problem was with the generator, which they said it's fixed now. We still don't know whether it is fixed and what is the solution. There's sometimes when the people do have water only for 2 hours, and then the next day the water is gone. So we don't have a proper solution. The other main concern is about 5 years ago they have built this new development here, and it's since this development came up that we started having water issues.
I want to speak about the realities that, for example, the old age homes are facing, because we do know that, you know, water is life and you need water every single day. What are the elderly going through without water?
Okay, what we have done, me and Councillor Michael Crichton from our side, we made sure that the water trucks are coming in, but the trucks is still not enough. And when the trucks do come in, they actually go quite right past the old age homes, and by the time when the elderly really get to the trucks, then there's no more water for them. So yes, it is a big issue, and this actually causes them to actually get sick. There's some people that goes without water for days, and then we as a councillors has to step in to go and help them with water.
Okay, Councillor Michael, maybe you can just also tell us about the realities of not having water for 18 days. But I want to understand what, for example, Joburg Water or Rand Water or whoever needs to take responsibility for what's going on here has communicated to residents, because we're not speaking about 2 or 3 days without water, it's 18 days.
Yes, thank you very much, Heidi. And my ward's mainly affected by the Linmar area and parts of Oakdean and Rosettenville Extension. But yes, this is a full-blown humanitarian crisis. And I feel that the communication from Johannesburg Water has not been effective. Day upon day, you get a cut and paste one-liner saying the reservoirs are a bit low, but that's not adequate. So eventually, yesterday, they provided a little bit more of a detailed update, but all we keep on being told is that the Klip-Riversberg reservoir is critically low, the Mayors Hill reservoir is out of commission, so that's on bypass, and then it's just not enough to get in sufficient water to the South Hills water tower.
Have you been given a time frame of when water will be restored?
Unfortunately not. There were some murmurs that it might have been restored by this past Tuesday. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened at all. They've also blamed load shedding. So we have been to City Power to request an exemption of the load shedding for the water tower. Apparently, Joburg Water only put in that request on Monday, so we've been pushing as councillors to get that done. And they said that they're still looking at some of the logistics, but I'm hoping that they'll do it sooner rather than later.
Okay, thank you so much. Perhaps we can just speak to a resident or two about the difficulties as well. Thanks for your time, ma'am. Maybe just tell us, you haven't had water for 18 days. How difficult has it been?
It's been very difficult. The story is that we are getting it from Klip-Riversberg. Klip-Riversberg is 43 kilometers away. So where there's load shedding, nothing is being pumped. Our South Hills tower here, reservoir that's here can't be filled because it's unstable. Should they fill it, it's going to flood the bottom of Linmar. The Mayors Hill has been decommissioned 3 years ago because there's cracks in it. So we actually don't even have a reservoir close by to us. So between the fact that it's taking 43 kilometers to bring it through to us and the fact that we don't have our own and there's load shedding, it's actually become a problem. We've got down the road an old lady that her daughter leaves at 6 in the morning, arrives at 6 in the evening. She's on oxygen, can't leave the house. She has no access to water all day. Okay? I've got 6-year-olds that are carrying buckets of water home. By the time they get home, half that water's gone. It's not acceptable. parents are at work, so the kids are being told to go and collect the water. We've got schools, we've got old age homes. It's not acceptable.
I want to ask about the water tankers, though, because that's always the response from Joburg Water to say, but we're providing water tankers. But in reality, that doesn't really work. And how do you fill up if you haven't had water for 18 days? Do you find the water tankers to be sufficient and of use?
That water is not drinkable. Okay, because I have been I've been to the water tanker when it's almost at the end, the filth that comes out of there, the dirt that comes out of there, that water is not drinkable. The only thing you can use that water for is to flush, and maybe for your garden. I doubt that anybody's watering their garden, and for perhaps the washing of clothes. You cannot drink that water. That water is not sanitary. I have been here. What came out of that water tank was terrible. The amount of dirt that was in that water tank was terrible. Also, I would like to know who's got the tenders for those water tanks. Is this a monopoly? Why are they not fixing our South Hills water reservoir? That is a major source. If they should not be allowed to build anything. We were here first before this complex. They need to see to it, and it's our right to have water. They cannot build here anymore until they can make sure that all the residents have got a right to water.
Sorry, sir, I'm not sure if you would like to speak. I think I spoke to you the last time because it's not the first time this problem. Yeah, I'm well, thanks, and you. Maybe just tell us, I can see you're very frustrated, and I can imagine it's 18 days and counting.
Frustration is not the word. What has become of the norm here is that our leaders in government have been too complacent with the people suffering. And not only here, across Johannesburg, across the country. Infrastructure's been, it's rotting. Yeah, South Hills, Lynmeyer, Oakdene, water leaks. Instead of coming to our chaps, it's going to the ground. Right? Yeah. No maintenance. Like the lady just said, you're building blocks of flats here. Where's that water coming from? It's coming from us. We don't even get that water now. So you're bypassing us that has been living here for years in a suburb to build flats where the flats get water, and we're suffering. And not only us, old ladies, babies, kids, schools. No water, 10, 12 days. Can we live like this here? We can't. People in prison got water. We got no water. That's not a joke, it's for real. I go to the prisons, I do work there. But they got water every day, whole day, we got no water. I want to ask the president of this country, has he ever had a 5-liter shower?
Yeah,
a bucket bath. A 5-liter shower, and his Minister of Water and Environment Affairs, do they have 5-liter bucket showers?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. We paying our rates, we deserve to get our services. Because if you don't pay, they come and take your main out.
Yeah. And the problem is they're charging us full rates.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your insights. Yeah, I think it's a big concern, Sally, and obviously you have people that don't have water for over 18 days. It definitely is a violation, I would say, of one's basic human rights. No access to water, and it doesn't seem as though there is any solution at this particular stage, as residents have not been told when water will be restored.